I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Up next for Paper Mill Playhouse is the new musical Take the Lead, which begins performances on March 29th, and we drop by the rehearsal room to meet the company.
It is such a beautiful story. It's based on a true story. It's based on a real man, Pierre Dulaine. And the music is so special, so singular. The beating heart of this show is huge. It has such a huge beating heart, and unlike anything I've ever seen. I cry every time I watch it. And the talent is unbelievable. It's a wonderful script. It's wonderful music. It's wonderful actors. He is unbelievable in this role.
He's been kind. There's so much heart in this. I have kids, so education is super important. Teachers are super important in the world. To have somebody truly see you, I think, is the best thing that can ever happen to a person, and I think it's fundamental in everybody's growth, and this story touches on that, and it takes it to a whole other place. And I feel like if you have a heart, I dare you not to feel it when you come and watch this show. The cast are phenomenal. Everybody's working their butts off. It's just, and the team are great. I think it has a place right now with everything that's going on, and I feel like hopefully it will give everyone a nice big lift and make everyone feel, oh yeah, this is what we're about as humans as well. Do you know what I mean?
I feel such a connection to the characters in the show, not just mine in particular, but these kids in the Bronx that, you know, they're at an underfunded school and they just come from a background very similar to my own. And I really just want to protect these kids and make sure that their story is told in such an authentic way, because it's so important for people to see. And also having this idea of dance changing people's life and having something that, like, I may not think that I can do it, but someone's pushing me to be able to do it, which is kind of like me in this show, because when they asked me to do a dance audition, I was like, well, that's the end of my journey with this show, and I'm somehow still here. So, like, I'm kind of having a very, like, parallel experience to the kids in the show who are like, this is not for us, ballroom is not for us, and then somehow, by the end, we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something really cool and special about the representation of, like, seeing people on stage who maybe look like you were dressed, you know, not in a particularly formal way, and seeing them do things that are kind of unexpected. It's like, oh, in this show we get to do hip hop, but also waltz, but also tango, but also like Fred and Ginger stuff. And, like, I think there's something really powerful about those images on stage, and so I'm really excited about getting to do that.
You're about to make your stage debut. How excited are you?
Excited, nervous. There's so many emotions. I've been such a huge fan of musical theater for so many years, and for this to be my first, my debut in musical theater has been the most incredible experience. For me, I've actually gotten offers to do other things or to join existing shows, but I always knew that if I ever wanted to do musical theater, I wanted to be a part of the original cast and go through the whole process of workshops and really learn and see how it all comes together, and it has been the most incredible learning experience ever.
When I originally signed on to this, it was me. I was directing and choreographing, and then I was, you know, the deeper I thought and deeper I went into it, I thought, you know, I can do this. I did Altar Boys. I've done, you know, things before, but I was like, this story, again, I take it to heart. His story is too important for me to, like, brush over the ballroom side of it and not be as authentic, and brush over the hip hop part of it and not be as authentic. Like, I can do it, but not trained in those disciplines. And so I asked the producers and they said yes, and then I went to SDC, the Stage Directors Union, and this is the first contract they've ever done with 3 choreographers with equal billing, because it's so unique to the show, but it's necessary, and I think audience will see that and feel that. You will feel it.
Well, for me, it's full circle. Pierre was one of my mentors, and this story kind of really resonates with me in so many different ways. And I was going to get to work with 2 other choreographers, Christopher Gattelli and then Jen Weber. And when we met and we spoke, and how passionate she is, like I am about the art form, I knew that I was going to be in a safe space where we can really create something special.
I of course love the movie, big fan. And then when I met Chris Gattelli, I was like, absolutely, I must work with him. And then, with Maria and I, like, it's just been an instant connection. And it's such a luxury to have multiple choreographers in the room. Usually you work by yourself. And it's so exciting to have different people's energy, see how different people create, see how we can inspire each other, see how we can push each other, see what we can learn from each other. Like, that's such an amazing experience and opportunity. And this cast in our show, I mean, the dance level is incredible, and as a choreographer, that's like a dream to work with people at such a high level.
What I love the most about working on this show is I love writing for high school boys. It's very empowering, and yeah, it's just fun to be in that vibe of like, it's just fun and exciting, and they're so like ridiculous. To like pretend to be a high school boy when I'm alone is like hilarious to me.
Yeah, it's fun to be able to write in the pop idiom, that these kids would have been. The show set in 2002. That's like all of my favorite pop songs are from the early mid 2000s. That's so fun. And at the same time, ballroom music isn't a genre. It's actually multiple genres, some of which are jazz standards and whatever. And I also love those. So it's the chance to just like play around with some of my favorite styles.
You showed me the movie because you were already interested.
I showed him the movie. We made the acquaintance of Diane Nabatoff, who was a producer of the film, and I was a dancer with the Joffrey Ballet after high school, and then I was a dancer in New York before I became a writer. So the idea of a musical that had dance absolutely embedded in its DNA was irresistible to me.
And I just love stories about teachers and students learning and their lives being changed, and how students and teachers give back to each other both ways. I wrote a play years ago called Secrets of the Trade about a mentor relationship, and I'm always very interested in what each side gives to each other.
Diane produced the movie in 2006. She started developing it in the late 2000 teens. I got involved, pre-pandemic, 2018, 2019. We then went through a pandemic for a year and a half while continuing to develop it. Then we went through a racial reckoning. Then we went through a country's reckoning. So here we are, over so many versions of culture and this country, finally putting the show on. It's the moment, though. The moment is ready for it. It is ready for the moment, and that's been a really gratifying thing in its development.
What do you hope audiences take away after seeing this?
I hope everyone stands up at the end of the show and says, I want to learn how to dance like that, but also that they realize the value of arts in the schools and arts in your life and how it can completely change you.